Hey there, family. Hey, soulmates. It's your girl, Dr. Melissa, the Purpose Profitess, and I am here for our mindset motivational moment. Um, you guys, I'm super excited. I'm on a different platform. The last time I tried to do Facebook Live, and it was a bit glitchy. So I thought, okay, let's utilize some of this technology that we have. Sometimes we have stuff that we don't utilize. So this is a new platform that I'm using, and so I hope it's going to be okay. But I will tell you, it doesn't even matter. I am super excited about what I'm going to talk about today. So, if I was going to caption today's topic, it would be stop hiding in phone booths. Stop sneaking around corners so that you can do your spin. Now, somebody might be saying, what on earth are you talking about? And I'm going to go ahead and say, if you are like one of those Zers or Gen Alphas, you might be clueless as to what I'm talking about. But I'm going to tell you that the analogy of hiding in phone booths and sneaking around corners to do your spin, these are references to Superman having to go into a phone booth, Wonder Woman having to find a dark corner hidden away so that she could spin around and turn into a superhero. You know, and we glorify those superheroes, right? I mean, I grew up back in the day, we used to like pretend we were certain superheroes, and I was always Wonder Woman, right? My sister was always the Bionic Woman. But have you ever thought about the fact that we glorify these superheroes, right? We relish in their power, but almost all of them, if not all of them, basically hide who they are. They hide their powers. And I'm going to tell you, when I got that revelation, I was like, whoa, because I constantly talk about walking into your power. I talk about how my pain produced my superpower, right? But I'm going to tell you, when I think about it, many of us have almost been conditioned to glorify hidden power. So it got me to thinking today. Several questions pondered around in this brain of mine. It's like, why can't I wear my cape to the office? Why do I have to pack away my cape when I show up? Why can't you be a superhero and let people know that you're a superhero 24/7? Why do we have to pretend that we're something that we're not so that people can be comfortable with us? You know, I think about this when I think about this whole concept. It's really about, why can't we just be who we're called to be all the time? Why do we have to create an alter ego? You know, somebody who plays small, somebody who's unassuming, somebody who's downplaying who they are. So much so that other people look at you and condescend you and underestimate you. It's almost like we're conditioned to play so small that people don't even know the power that we're packing. It's almost as if we revel in the smallness. And I'm going to tell you, my theory is we have the concept that that is humility. That's what it means to be humble, being unassuming, not being who you are. That's noble. You know, it's not noble to walk around looking like not looking like Clark Kent. If you want to be noble, if you want to be humble and you're Superman, you can't show up with your cape. No. You've got to walk around looking like Clark Kent. You know, glasses that you really don't need because you're Superman. So you don't have a vision problem. fumbling around with papers, like you don't really know what you're doing, like you're struggling with things that you know you actually don't struggle with. For my Wonder Women out there, it's not noble, it's not humble unless you show up like Diana Prince. Big old glasses that hide your beauty, hair pulled back in a bun, with this false sense of efficiency and servitude. So, in other words, if I show up as myself, I'm not being humble. So, I've got to create this version, this iteration of myself that other people are comfortable with, so that I can be seen as humble and noble, so that I can be seen as a person who's there to serve. But let me ask you, why does servitude have to be phony? Like, why can't I serve humanity with my cape on, with my golden lasso, with my belt, with my bracelets? Why can't I serve as Wonder Woman? Why do you have to be Diana Prince? Why do I have to hide in a dark corner to turn into Wonder Woman and then come out? Here's the thing: rescue other people, rescue them, but then vanish back from the scene and then come back as Diana Prince as if you weren't the one that did it. Never owned the fact that I was the one that rescued you. My loves, I'm telling you that this is a false sense of humility that basically many of us have been acculturated to believe. I know I certainly was. I was raised to believe that nobility and humility really lies at the hallmark of not really being who you are. Like, if you know you're powerful, well, you don't ever say that you're powerful. If you know that you're called to do a thing, well, you don't say that. If you know that you can sing really well and somebody says, girl, you can sing, you don't own it. You go, oh, no, no, no. I mean, God forbid you would say, thank you, yes. I'm a great songstress. I am anointed to sing. I'm going to tell you that many of us have been acculturated not to do that. We've been acculturated to playing small. And I'm going to tell you that your greatest power lies in your ability to own and embrace and be fully who God has called you to be. Not just sometimes, but all of the time, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there won't be moments of doubts. There will. I'm not saying there won't be moments of pain. There will. I'm not saying there won't be moments of insecurity. All of that's baked in. All of that's part of being human, fully human. But I'm telling you, this concept of having to be somebody else to be accepted, or at the very least to be less than who you are to be accepted, it's false. It's a lie. And it doesn't serve your purpose. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've been talking about how we celebrate superheroes who have all of this awesome power, but they walk around veiled. They walk around as a false self in order to fit in, right? But I'm going to tell you, for those of you that are Christian, and let me just say, I serve people in other countries. I serve people with other religions. Let me tell you, I'm not just called to Christians, I'm called to the people of God, which is everybody. So I will give you the disclaimer, I'm Christian, deeply steeped in my faith. So it is rare that you'll have too many conversations with me that you won't know that. But I don't want you to feel like this is, I'm indoctrinating you, or if you're not Christian, you can't listen to this, because I'm going to tell you the beautiful thing about what I'm talking about is it's the truth. And the truth is God, and it transcends man-made religion and all of the other things that we use to label each other and divide amongst ourselves. So, scripture time. I said all of that to tee you up. Let's talk about scripture just for a moment, because I want to tell you that when we think about Jesus, right? Jesus was the Son of God. And for years, he was veiled as the carpenter's son. He was Joseph's son, right? But then there came a time of the unveiling at the temple. And soulmates, family, this is what I want you to know. Once he stepped fully into who he was as the Son of God, he didn't go back to pretending that he was not. He wasn't like, well, no, I'm the Son of God, but wait a minute. When there's a miracle that needs to happen, let me run off into a field somewhere, spin around, hide in a cave, and then come out and heal the sick, and then go back and show back up as Joseph's son. No, no. He was fully the Son of God and fully the Son of Man all at the same time. He embraced his humanity while walking fully in his divinity at all times. And he didn't take a day off from being Jesus. And he didn't take a moment off and then pretend like, oh, no, I'm just Joseph's son, right? I'm telling you, we've been conditioned to get this wrong. And I'm here today to give you permission to be fully who you're called to be all the time. To show up with your big old cape flapping in the wind and with your golden lasso and your bracelets at all times. I'm Dr. Melissa. I'm a daughter of God. I'm insecure some days. I'm doubtful some days. I'm even fearful some days. But at the same time, I am powerful. I'm anointed. And I get to be her every single day. Right? You are bold. You have purpose. You have power. And you don't need to put on some fake glasses and pull your hair back in a bun and be unassuming so that people can tolerate you, so that people can be okay with you. No. Today, you show up fully as Superman. You show up fully as Wonder Woman. You show up as Wonder Woman in the office. You show up as Wonder Woman at the party. You show up as Wonder Woman at church. You show up as Wonder Woman in the Harris Teeter grocery store. Why? Why do you show up as Wonder Woman? Well, because you are. You're showing up as exactly who you are called to be. I will tell you, for me personally, I struggled with that for most of my life. For those of you that don't know my story too well, I'm going to touch on it briefly and try not to take up too much time. But in 2018, at that time, I had been married for 27 years. And my late husband and I, at the time, we had a couple properties, 4 children, 3 dogs. And we had started this business. And at that time, the business was about maybe 3 years old. I'll tell you, I remember when I first came to him excited, and I was like, hey, God put in my spirit that I need to open this behavioral health business, right? And the look on his face was like, have you lost every single bit of your mind? And that was because at the time, y'all, I had the good government job. Not government, the government job. And we weren't wealthy by any stretch of anybody's imagination. But we were squarely middle class. We both had jobs. I had a good job. And here I was saying, I feel called to leave this good government job and venture out into opening this behavioral health agency that we didn't have a template for. We didn't have a business mentor, coach, and I didn't know anybody who had started their own business. I didn't come from a family that had done that. And so there was this look of terror. But I, I can be quite convincing. And so he eventually acquiesced and said, okay, let's go try it. But if not, we're going to do a set amount of time. And if it doesn't work, you're going to go back and you're going to find a real job. Cool. And you guys, as I knew, it flourished, and I knew it would flourish, not because I had business acumen at the time. I've got business receipts now, right? I can talk to you all day and twice on Thursday about running a business and scaling a business. But at the time, I had zero receipts, right? But I knew I had been called. And see, for me, that superseded any bit of education or experience. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to out there that's saying, I don't have the education, I don't have the experience, I don't have the support, I don't have the help? Listen to me. If you've got a calling, you got all you need. Now you just need to move forward in obedience. But I will tell you, during that time, the business was starting to take off. And then we were struck with stage 4 brain cancer diagnosis out of the blue. And it shattered everything for me. Like I said, had been married 27 years. I got married when I was 20 years old. So being married was all I knew. It's all I wanted to know, to be honest with you. I had the American dream in my mind. Husband, 4 kids, 3 dogs, picket fence, like we're good. But I will tell you that diagnosis and everything that sort of spiraled out of that, it really became the unraveling of me. And I'm going to tell you, for some of you, don't panic when things start to come undone. Don't panic. It's not necessarily an ending. It's a reset. It, for me, was God taking away all of the things that I had been hiding behind. Because the call on my life that you see right now didn't just start 7 years ago. It started before I was even formed. I've been helping people like this my entire life. I've been coaching, strategizing, helping people, especially over the last decade. Oh my goodness, hundreds of people, maybe even thousands of people that I've done this for. I was just doing it from the dark corner. Like I would literally, y'all, I own the behavioral health business, several locations, does very well financially. I don't say that to impress you, but to impress upon you that obedience has benefits. But I'm going to tell you, for many years, I would walk into my own offices, my own buildings, and no one would even know who I was. And that's exactly how I wanted it. I didn't want people to know that I was the CEO. I wanted to get to my corner office, get behind my desk, and like the Wizard of Oz, pull the strings and make it all happen. Bless the people, help the people, do all of that. I just didn't want you to know it was me doing it. The Great Oz. Why? When I think back on it now, it's that I wasn't comfortable with owning my call. I wasn't comfortable with standing squarely in my power and my anointing. I wasn't comfortable with you knowing that it was me that took care of that for you. It was me that paid that bill. It was me that opened that door. I didn't want people to know because I felt like that wouldn't be humble. In my mind, the humble and noble and godly thing to do is to bless the people and they never know it was you. And don't get me wrong. It's not that sometimes we're not called to just be a blessing and keep our mouths closed. Now, that's for the people that everything you do, you got to tell somebody. No, it's okay to be a blessing to people and not say, hey, it was me. It's okay to do that. But let's get to the motivations. See, when your motives of not saying anything has nothing to do, it really doesn't have anything to do with not trying to be braggadocious. It has to do with not being comfortable with people knowing that that was me. I'm Wonder Woman. Listen. Come on. Where are my Wonder Women? We keep apologizing for having that power. You apologize for having that calling. You apologize for having that dream because other people around you don't get it. They're not supposed to. They're not Wonder Woman. You are. They don't get it. They're not Superman. You are. Come on, Clark. Let's take those glasses off. You look crazy. You got like laser vision. And you wearing some glasses with, oh my god, with the tape. With the tape. Y'all, come on. Diana, you walking around the office running up behind Steve Austin, who, by the way, is in love with Wonder Woman, just like Lois Lane was in love with Superman. And here I am right here, and you don't notice me. And you're okay with that. No, that stops today. Today, we wear our capes to the office. Get it out of that briefcase. I need you to get the cape. I need you to put the cape on. And I need you to walk around with your cape. With your Lululemon yoga pants on. With your sweats. With your pajamas. Whatever it is. I need you to have that cape on. Because taking off the cape is symbolic of taking off your purpose and your power. And I'm telling you, I have cried with my cape. And my cape is still there. And I've been confused with my cape, but my cape is still there. The cape doesn't inoculate you from being confused or from being scared or from being worried or from being hurt. The cape doesn't inoculate you from that. The cape just says, despite that, I got knocked down, but I'm still Wonder Woman. I got lied on. I'm still Wonder Woman. I got mistreated. I'm still Wonder Woman. He divorced me. I'm still Wonder Woman. She betrayed me. I'm still Wonder Woman. They fired me after 30 years. I'm still Wonder Woman. The doctor says there's nothing else they can do. I'm still Wonder Woman. Yeah. So today, I implore you, stop hiding out in phone booths. Stop running around trying to find dark corners so that you can do your spin and then show up as Wonder Woman, only to run and hide when they say, who helped? Who blessed me? Who was that person? You show back up as somebody who didn't even do that, who didn't even bless them. And let me tell you what really happens when you do that. You rob people of the gift that has been deposited in you. Listen, y'all, if I need a word, or I need help, or I need something that's been deposited in you, man, if I gotta wait for you to go find a phone booth, I gotta wait for you to go find a dark corner. So I have to wait to be blessed by the gift that you have, because you have a need not to look like you have the gift. So I have to wait for you to go turning to somebody else and then show up with the gift. By that time, I don't even need it anymore. that gift has been deposited in you and it's not for you. It actually never was. It was never truly about you. You see, I say all the time, I'm showing up here now. This is my iteration of coming out of the phone booth. I'm tired of spinning in dark corners. So I decided several years ago to just show up as Wonder Woman. Did I lose people? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Dr. Melissa will not sit here and tell you a lie. There are casualties to this decision. You know, I remember growing up and people used to talk about fair weather friends. You know, how some people will rock with you when you're on the mountaintop, but when you hit the valley, you look around and they're gone, right? They can celebrate with you in your triumph, but when the trauma comes, you're like, hey, what happened to all the people? They're gone. And I will tell you that is so true. But I'm going to tell you what I have discovered in the last 7 years, particularly. There are just as many people who will rock with you in your trauma, but can't handle your triumph. Whew. Let me tell you, there are people who want to sit with you in your pain. Oh, girl, oh, boo, how are you? Oh, I know, so, oh, how you doing, boo? How you doing, sweetheart? Can I help you? They are good. They will ride with you until the wheels come off, as long as you are playing small, as long as you are broken, as long as you are unclear, as long as you are apologizing, as long as you are dimming your light. You are their chick. You are their dude. But the moment trauma transforms into triumph, ooh, they can't handle it. They cannot handle you not being broken. They can handle you in your pain, but not in your purpose. They can handle you in your trauma, but not in your triumph. And sometimes, if we are unwilling to let go, we'll continue to stay small. We'll say, okay, if going there means I lose you, I won't go. Oh, absolutely not. Elevation sometimes, most of the times, equal separation. Just by virtue of logistics. If we're both here and I start to elevate, distance is created. Now, this person would have to choose to elevate as well. If they don't, the only way to get rid of distance is for me to descend. And therein lies the choice that we all have to make. But I can tell you, if you're listening to me today, you're done with that. You're tired. You've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. You've dealt with all of the D's: death, divorce, deception, disappointment, diagnoses, all the devil. You're sick of the D's. And you're ready to show up as you. Not perfection, just powerful. You. Beautifully imperfect and still powerful all at the same time. So, get out of that phone booth. Y'all know they don't even have phone booths anymore. Like, you're going to have a hard time trying to Superman. Boo, I haven't seen any phone booths. So if you're running around trying to find your phone booth so you can transform from Clark Kent into Superman, we're going to be waiting for a minute. There are no phone booths. And Diana Prince, really, baby, like, you know how crowded the world is? Trying to find an empty space. I can't find an empty space to turn around in my own house. I don't care where I am. Sometimes it's just the dogs. I'm like, hey, it's just 5 minutes. Like, so we're done with that. We're going to show up with our superpower. Okay? All right, you guys. I hope this has motivated you. I hope this has ignited a fire in you, that it is time. It is your time to show up as you, fully you, unapologetically, unstoppable, unfiltered, unbothered. Okay? All right, good stuff. Now, for those of you that were with me last week, I talked a little bit about the millionaire morning mindset. And so I was like, okay, I need to give you guys something. I created a checklist. It's like a 7 or 8 page morning routine checklist. It's called the Morning Makeover. And I want to give that to you for free. So all you need to do is comment me below, and we'll get that right over to you. And I'm thinking about too, give me some feedback, creating like maybe a 21-day challenge, a free challenge where I can really walk you through my morning routine. Some of you have awesome routines. Amen. This is really for those of us that, if you're like me, I always struggled with the consistency. I talked about discipline, order, consistency. Doc, I've always struggled with that. I'll do something really great for a while, and then I'm like, oh, let me switch it up. And the moment I switch it up, it goes to the hot place. So if you're interested in me putting something together like that, if I get enough feedback of people that want that, I will create that. And it'll be like you'll get some videos from me every day about my morning routine. I may even do some like audio affirmations. It will be something truly dope because I don't know how to do something basic. My kids say I'm team too much. I always do the most. So if I have enough interest, I'll put something together like that, and hopefully it'll be helpful. So you guys, thank you for rocking with me during your lunchtime. Now go on and finish eating your salad with the ranch on the side, so you can just dip the fork in the ranch and then don't drizzle it. Yeah, there I go, all up in y'all's business again. But I love you. It's time to be healthy, because the thing about the first superpower is health. We got to have energy. So anyway, you guys take care. Thank you so much for rocking with me, and I'll see y'all